Hi once again. This time, this little talk is not on plants, not on bulbs, not on antiques. It's on what I would say common sense. Now, call me a bloody fool. Some people do. Some people don't listen. I'm not mentioning any names. I am just rather furious about this. How harm can be done to a person unknowingly. Now, what I talk about today is practices using high voltages. Not necessarily just the high voltages, although at this stage, and anyone can argue with me, I've been in the electrical trade now for many, many years. I've stripped microwaves down, I've repaired microwaves, and all right, in my younger days, I've probably been a bit stupid as well. Anyhow, at the moment I'm being attacked by a cat. Anyhow, getting back to the so-called nitty-gritty. You'll have to excuse me jumping about because the pussycat wants to get in. I've said high voltages. Okay. My plea or advice to a particular friend, and funny enough, he is a good friend, although last night he put a video up which I turned around and immediately said, well, that's it. Why do I bother? There's no point. If these people are wanting to not listen, take advice, then that's down to them. And that's the way I went to bed last night. I thought, well, nah, sod him. That's the expression I used. I'm going to bed. If he wants to kill himself, let him kill himself. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not like that. Anyhow, this little matter refers to not the high voltages produced by the actual transformer. Now, I understand a lot of you do not know how a microwave works. Basically, they produce, obviously, microwaves within the closed compartment of the microwave, and it jiggles up the atoms of water, if you like, and it'll cook food. So in other words, if you put in, say, a chunk of china, then it won't heat up because it's not water. If you put an electric light bulb in of the neon type, yeah, it's going to light up. Fluorescent lamps are going to light up. Please, just because I've said this, don't try it. Please, don't try it at home. I know most of the people out there have the sense to realise this, but unfortunately not everyone does. Well, while talking about the part that produces the actual microwaves, it's called a magnetron, and it is like a valve which is, I believe, surrounded by a magnet, hence the name magnetron. It is safely placed inside the microwave, so any rays or microwaves that are produced are kept within the microwave. The door of the microwave closes, and then there's an interlock which allows the magnetron to be energized, and then it's only energized for a short period depending on what heat level you've turned the actual microwave onto. They're a marvellous thing. Let's face it, I use my one pretty well every day, and I've tinkered with them. When I say tinkered with them, repaired them. I realise that they can be extremely dangerous. They hold a capacitor which would mean instant death if you touched it, particularly with both hands, one on one terminal and one on the other. Please don't try it at home. I don't want to kill anyone, and it is this and the magnetron worries. That's why I've made this little video, which it was intended to be a little video. I'm not mentioning the name of the youngster who is doing or has done this. It wouldn't be fair, but he's one of my subscribers, and to be quite honest, I don't want to lose him. He's got a brain which he can use on certain things, and a friend and I have been trying to persuade him to probably act more safely. In some of their eyes, or the other people's eyes, he's acting more safe now by using I don't know what it's called, but it's an insulated stick which he holds the wires away, where he gets his display of sparks. He probably knows, if I was to say to him a Jacob's ladder, he would know immediately what I meant. Why he doesn't just consider using a Tesla coil, I don't know. At least a Tesla coil is fairly safe. Anyhow, I'm going back to my main reason for having a little moan. It's not a moan. It's hopefully help that if this kid hears it, he's German, so, you know, anyone else out there who knows him and can translate it to him. We don't know where he lives or anything. I would love to get a hold of his parents, because they obviously don't know the dangers he's in. Anyhow, the main reason for this is the magnetron. The magnetron, as I said, is encapsulated within the actual microwave itself. Now, if you were to take the magnetron out, and it's not difficult, it can be taken out. It's an item which you could hold in your hand. It's got fins around it and a cavity within, which is where the waves are produced. Now, my worries are that this can be used, and I have seen it used outside of the microwave. Now, there's a warning that microwaves have a sealing ring in them or round the door to keep the microwaves in, because they are bloody dangerous. I'm sorry to swear, but that is how I feel. If there's anyone out there that knows more about microwaves than me, please join in, because I think this should be told. Now, to take the magnetron out of the microwave, wire it up separately on a piece of wood along with the microwave transformer, commonly known as an MOT in YouTube terms, and the capacitor. Whether the little bleed resistor is still left in or not, I don't know. I can't ascertain, I can't see that. But anyhow, they still hold a nasty charge which can kill. And then current is fed in to the transformer, which steps the voltage up to a very high voltage. I don't know the exact figure, I'm number blind, so pull me up on that one if you like. I just know it is quite high, and that is applied to the magnetron. Now, as I stated, the magnetron pushes out a wave which will jiggle water. It vibrates at such a frequency that it gets hot. And my microwave, I can put a cup of water in it, and within a minute or so the water's boiling, and that's at 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you like 80 degrees on the Réaumur scale. Sorry for being technical, but I was brought up that way, and I think this young lad was also brought up technically, but unfortunately not enough. And as I say, he does know a lot of stuff. perhaps the term a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I don't know. This is my last effort, believe me, at trying to make him see sense. Whether he'll listen to this little video, I don't know. I've got an idea if he does listen to it, he'll just poo-poo it and say, oh, silly old sod, what does he know? Well, I've tried my best. Anyhow, the results of the magnetron being out is it means there's no shielding. Whether you put a tin can over the top of it or to act as a guide, a wave guide, because yeah, I used to work on microwaves, not microwave ovens, but microwaves in one of the BT places. I won't say where because obviously I'm bound by the official secrets, but I know that even microwaves used for transmitting sounds, either TV programs or radio, they are dangerous. And if you looked into a waveguide, which looks like a tube, it's not a wire, it's a tube, and if you look into that and it's on, you will be blinded. I'm sorry to be so down to earth, you will be blinded. And if you were to stand in front of a horn aerial that is sending these rays out, it can sterilise you. So that is how serious it can be. Now, anyhow, using magnetron out in the open or even indoors, I've seen one of the vids where it's actually indoors and you get like a load of sparks coming out of it. God knows how he does that, but he does. And I think, well, he could, and may at this stage have even done damage already, because several of his videos, I've looked through his stuff, has shown this same setup being used mainly outdoors but sometimes indoors. It could cause, I would say, irreparable damage to the eye. The eye consists of aqueous humour, and aqueous humour is the fluid that is within the actual eyeball itself. Now, if he got close enough to the rays coming out of this magnetron, it could boil his eyes, which would mean, if not death, it would mean that he would be blind. And I'm only hoping that he hasn't already done enough damage to his eyes. I do blame YouTube. There's lots of things out there, not all about magnetrons, but obviously he knows that magnetrons do produce a ray which to him is fun and games because he sees it flaring up with sparks. But what he doesn't realise is it gives out a frequency which can cause blindness. And the eyeball, another of my friends has told me that he's known of an incident where a kid's eye was actually burst. It was burst because of radiation from, I presume, a magnetron. So anyhow, I know this little talk has been a little bit different to my talks. I'm sorry if I seem to know too much. I'm not young now, and I've seen these things, and if I can help someone, particularly the youngster, which I'm not mentioning his name, but you haven't got to go far through my list of subscribers to see who I mean. And as I say, it wouldn't be fair for me to name him, but he knows who I mean, and a lot of his friends know who I mean. I don't know how we can get the information to him. whether he would do anything about it. Deep down, I don't think he will. As I say, last night a friend of mine sent me a message, and he said that he's up to his tricks again, and I said to him, no, you must be joking. Unfortunately he wasn't, but this time it was on, as far as I know, just the high voltage, which some people seem to think is quite safe. Okay, I don't, so we'll differ there. Anyhow, thanks for listening. If there's anyone out there who knows more than I do about microwaves, and I only know the basics, perhaps you could join in, I don't know. And if any of you know this lad, I don't even know where he lives. He's in Germany, but what town, I don't know. There's no way of sort of contacting him directly. The only way I can contact him is through the YouTube pages. So I'm stuck. But I must put this up because I feel very, very strongly about this. And I'm hoping some good will come of it. Anyhow, thanks for listening. Sorry I've probably bored a lot of people. Well, I don't know. I don't think I have. And I'm going to clear down now, but, you know, microwaves are not toys. And they should not be disassembled unless the person disassembling them is an engineer, or, in my case, I'm not saying I'm an expert on things, I've repaired loads of equipment, including microwaves, but I do it in a sensible way. And I've got a little tester which tests for leakages throughout from around the door. If I pick a microwave up in a boot cell, which I've done, I make sure it's safe. And taking the only time you would take the magnetron out is if it goes wrong and you change it for a new one. You certainly don't mount it on a piece of wood with all the other bits and blow microwaves in the air all round you where they can affect your health. Anyhow, I've said my piece. Thanks for listening. This is a warning, and you know, I can't think what more I can do. I have my hands tied. So once again, thank you. I'm going to upload this, and hopefully it will fall on the ears of one very silly lad. And I mean a silly lad, he bloody well is. He obviously doesn't know the dangers, or if he does, he just ignores them. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up now because I've been going on far too long and you're going to be sick of my voice. I might put another video up today. It'll be a nice one though. It'll be probably of the lamps. So thanks again. Any comments please make. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We might get through to him, but I've got my doubts. Thanks again for watching. Thank you.